back to my channel. Welcome back to another Get Ready With Me where we are testing out some eyeshadow palettes that I'm still working my way through testing before my year-end palette ranking. And today we are busting out a bunch of palettes, but all from the same brand. So I'm busting out 3 of my Blend Bunny palettes. I have the Garden of Stars palette, which I've finally decided to dig my grubby little fingers into. For the longest time I was like, I just don't want to use this palette because it's literally so pretty, but I really do love like sparkly things, and it's a crime to let this just like sit and sparkle without putting the sparkles on my eyes. So we are using this today alongside the Rotten palette as well as the Efflorescence palette. So this is what is on my eyes today. I am going tree hunting today with my boyfriend's family, which I'm really excited about, and my like inspiration for today was like snow fairy inspired. It is supposed to snow 10 inches out today. I will say, I was like, oh, should I do something blue? But like going into today, I definitely was thinking something pink. And I'm really happy with the way that the look turned out. So if you are interested in just hanging out, sitting down, chilling, and getting ready, then stay tuned, grab your makeup and stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project planning content, palette themed content, or just hanging out and chit-chatting about makeup, that is what we do over on this channel. So I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Morning, you guys. Welcome to another Get Ready With Me where we're trying to make my way through all of the palettes in my collection that I'm still testing. And today we're not pulling out 1, we're not pulling out 2, but we're gonna pull out 3 eyeshadow palettes that I am still working my way through testing. All are Blend Bunny. So I have my Blend Bunny, Rotten, and Efflorescence palette. I'll likely, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'll likely just use the Efflorescence palette for like an inner corner highlight. Nevertheless, we're pulling that out. I'm also going to be pulling out my Garden of Stars. I have been talking so long about how this palette just looks so pretty that I'm like struggling to get myself to even just like touch these shadows. Although I will say, I did a look yesterday and I reached for, what shades did I reach for? These 3 shades right here. So I've finally gotten my grubby paws into it, but it's still like so pretty. And okay, so today I am going tree hunting with my boyfriend and his family, and my vision for today, it's also going to like snow 10 inches. It's gonna be our it's gonna be our biggest snowfall in like of the season. And I'm wearing more like beige colors, and like I'm planning to wear a hat that's like brownie beige, but I really want to do something like snowy and pink, like sparkly and pink. Maybe snowy and pink isn't necessarily the right word, but then I'm looking at like all of the beautiful shades down here and I'm like, oh, my heart is with the blues and like actually a snowy look. I just don't know if my boyfriend's family could like handle me in blue eyeshadow. Not that they would actually care, but I think it would be more than they've seen me in eyeshadow. Usually I try to take my colorful eyeshadow off before I go visiting. I just want to swatch, okay, the shades that, okay, I'm gonna swatch Estranged and Haunting here. Okay, here's Estranged and here's Haunting. Ooh, Estranged is kind of like that sort of pinky sparkly shade that I am kind of after. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell because it is currently 5:30 in the morning, so like my lights are on because it is dark. There is Haunting. Haunting is actually kind of more of that pink base with the blue sparkle on top. I still will likely stick, like my vision is like, maybe Snow Princess is what I was thinking when I was thinking of the pinks. I might go with that Estranged shade though. And then I also want to swatch, oh, whoa, oh no. Dug my little nail into that, that's okay. Luster and Glimmer up here. I'm also interested in how those look. We've got Luster and Glimmer. So here's Luster. I think I swatched that right over a swatch. But Luster is basically giving me everything that I have in my mind. It is pink and it is sparkly. And then I think this one was called Glimmer. there's Glimmer. Glimmer is something that I feel like I can use on like the outer edge to kind of tie everything together. So I think we are gonna commit to a pink look today. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you guys in. And we are gonna jump into the Rotten palette first. I actually have already filmed a get ready with me using the Rotten palette, but I realized, first of all, I thought I lost my footage. Then, maybe I should start blending eyeshadow while I tell this story. Okay, I'm gonna start by going into the shade Acrimonium, this pink right here. And I have already laid down my Ulta Matte Longwear Veil, yada yada, eyeshadow primer. Okay. I have already, what I was saying is I have already actually filmed to get ready with me using the Rotten palette and the Efflorescence palette. And I thought I lost the footage. Okay, that is way more like light pink than I was anticipating that was gonna be. Actually, wow, okay. It's okay, we're gonna figure this out. I might have to dip into a fourth palette to get like to get totally what I'm looking for. I think I'm gonna like really bring that into the inner corner and up though, because I feel like this could give like Snow Bunny vibes a bit. We're just gonna have fun and hope it all works out. I do have a bit of extra time to wash my makeup off if I so desperately need. Okay, back to what I was saying. I have already filmed with the Rotten palette. I thought I lost the footage, and I was like so mad and sad. And then I realized I did not lose the footage. I found it. But it was like towards the very end of November. I hadn't edited the video yet. And I was planning for this to go up. I feel like I filmed this like at the very beginning of November. And I did like a neutral look with a pop of blue. And by the time this video goes up, you'll have already seen my get ready with me with the Simply Posh Gingerbread palette, which I did a neutral look with a pop of blue. So then I was like, dang, I didn't even know if I can post my Rotten palette get ready with me, because you guys are gonna be like, girl, do you just do neutral looks with like a pop of blue? But I may end up still posting that. It's been so long since I've even filmed that. I literally don't even remember like what happens in that video, other than I know I did a neutral look with a pop of blue. Really, is my heat actually coming on right now? Okay, I'm gonna blend this shadow out, turn my heat off, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm sitting here like trying to think of the actual like tone of pink I'm thinking for the rest of the look, and I don't want anything, like I want it to be like mostly like neutral pink. I don't want anything too pink. So I actually grabbed my Vizier Midsummer Lumiere palette, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which I know actually looks more brown, but again, I want like a browny pink look, and the majority of my pink can come from this inner corner and then the sparkle that we're gonna add. I just don't think there's anything in the Rotten palette that is screaming the type of like what I have envisioned for the actual pink. Closest would be the shade Whisper, but that is just like pretty purple and not exactly what I had in mind. All right, I'm gonna start just by like tapping this on the outer part of my lid. I hope this comes together in the way that I am hoping it will. And it's so funny, Midsummer Lumiere, one of my biggest complaints about this palette was that I felt like it was too rosy toned, or like read a little bit more pink than I was wanting. But now next to that really light pink, it looks brown. Although I will keep in mind, like the vibes today, like the outfit, yesterday I got this just because like nothing is fitting me right now, and I definitely do not feel cute in literally anything. I got a sweater that has like skis on it that says like, maybe it says like après, and I got it oversized. Although is anything really oversized for me right now? Probably not. But it's like a beigey color, and then I'm planning to wear this beige hat that I really like that says soda on it. Sota, not soda. In Minnesota here, we say pop when we're talking about soda pop. But for real, okay wait, who watches my videos that's from Minnesota, and what do you say? Do you say soda or do you say pop? Okay, I don't know if the vision is coming to life. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried because I also don't want to have this super dramatic look either. And I'm like, is that the direction we're headed? Okay, I'm dipping back into acromonium. And I'm going to take that, I don't know what I'm doing. Just blending. I think it really will all come together. Like the main focus of today's look is really just going to be the sparkle. But I feel like I feel like that like brownie, honestly maybe more purple shade mixed with that pink is reading maybe a little bit more purple than I anticipated, but that's okay because you know what, like I said, the sparkle and the special shades are really what are gonna steal the show, and they're gonna bring that pink back for us. While we're here just like blending eyeshadow out, I would love to know if there's any specific like end of year content videos you guys are really itching to see. I've been like putting my filming calendar together, and I definitely do still have some spaces open for things. So if there's any like real specific content you want to see, let me know. Okay, when I look down like this, I feel like the entirety of like the darker shade is covered up. But then I'm like to that point where I'm nervous that if I add too much, that we're just gonna be like way too dramatic. I'm bringing some up a little bit more just because it's what I do genuinely want. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here because again, we don't need to go too dramatic. We're just gonna pause here. Okay, we're adding our NYX glitter glue. Oh, I was shopping on I was browsing on the Unearthly Cosmetics website yesterday. I don't know how I missed like their blushes. I can't remember which collection they were, but they are like this like really beautiful glowy blush. They look so pretty. And I definitely am interested in picking some up. I haven't yet, but as I was on the Unearthly website, I was like, okay, what else other than eyeshadow from Unearthly do they have that I'm interested in trying? And I didn't realize it looks like they have like their own glitter glue, which I believe is $6. This NYX glitter primer is like getting harder and harder to find. I don't know if they're getting rid of this. Like, why would they? I feel like that has to be one of their best selling products, but maybe I'm just selfish and just assume that everyone else uses a NYX glitter primer when alas they do not. But I would love to know if you guys have tried the Unearthly glitter primer and what your thoughts are. I laid the NYX glitter primer down and I feel like my eyes are getting tacky, so I'm gonna go in with this shade first, this one right up here in the corner, which is called, I think, Glimmer. Yeah, Glimmer. And I'm gonna start with Glimmer, like not taking that too far in, because this is actually not one of those. Sometimes I'll take my like darker shade, like sometimes I'll take it honestly almost like a full 2/3 of the way in. I kind of just want to focus this on the very outer corner just a little bit, because I do want the majority of my look to be lighter, like a lighter sparkly pink. So really just focusing that on the outer third. Okay, and that Glimmer shade is really sparkly and beautiful. I might turn my lights down. Still don't know how well you can like actually see the sparkle, but it's very pretty. Okay, then I have Estranged and Luster, which I'm gonna swatch again. So we have Estranged, which I just swatched right there, and then Luster right here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Estranged, seems to be, it's lighter, but also seems a little bit smoother. I think I'm gonna take Estranged, which is this shade right here. And I think I'm gonna take that from the very inner part all the way out to where I laid down that Glimmer shade. And then I might tap Luster over top on the majority of the lid, but here we go with Estranged. And I'm someone who typically has no problem using their fingers. I actually prefer using my fingers for shades other than mattes, but I do kind of want to lay this one down with a brush first. And just because I have like hooded eyes, I like to bring and I also want this to be a sparkly eyeshadow look. I'm gonna bring that sparkle above like my crease. And I'm going to take a little bit more of Glimmer and also bring that out here. And then I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush and just running that around and just running that along the edge to kind of clean things up just a little bit. Okay, then taking Luster on my finger. I'm gonna start by tapping that into the center. Okay, I don't know how much of a difference Luster made. Regardless, my eyes are very sparkly, which honestly was the goal. I'm gonna try and clean this up just a little bit. I think I might add a little bit of liner to the lash line, liquid liner. I think probably brown. Okay, I'm gonna take my Fenty Fly Liner in the shade In Big Truffle. And I'm just gonna stamp that along the lower lash, or not the lower lash, the upper lash line, just to add a little bit of definition to the lash line. I don't know, I just always, sometimes I feel like because I don't wear false lashes, adding a bit of definition to the lash line just helps a bit. Okay, I think once I have like my full face of makeup on, it'll all come together how I want it. I also feel like normally I have not so like I feel like typically my eye looks are just like a little bit darker too, but it's okay. Let's finish the full face of makeup and see where we're at. Zooming you guys out just a little bit, I'm gonna put a little bit of my Lawless, forget the filler, mask on. I forgot I meant to put a balm on earlier. And my lips they're struggling so far this year. Okay, my like vision for the rest of the face is I do want to wear more full-ish coverage foundation just because my makeup is going to be on for a long time. But I want to go like super like Snow Fairy Princess is the vibe today. Because I need my makeup to last, I'm going to go in with, I think this is my only gripping primer at the moment. It's the e.l.f. Jelly Pop. This is literally like glue for your face. I do kind of prefer using the Jelly Pop in the summer, maybe just because it smells like watermelon. But I also like have been telling myself I cannot buy another primer until I get work my way through some of my primers in my collection, just because right now I feel like I have quite a few primers in my collection that are like I like but definitely wouldn't repurchase. The only problem is every day I'm like, oh, I want to go with a gripping primer. And then I'm like, I guess it's just the e.l.f. Jelly Pop. If you guys have other gripping primers you love, let me know. I'm definitely interested in, I can't remember if it's Maybelline. They have like, I think it's called just like the Grippy Primer. Definitely interested in like testing another drugstore primer. But again, I kind of want to get through some of my primers. So we've got a bit of a conundrum on our hands. I don't even know if I used that word right, so don't touch me if I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna let that set for a minute just so my products do indeed lay on it like glue. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a bit of color corrector underneath the eyes just so I feel like my eyes are looking real rough. I am gonna do a mixture of my Bobbi Brown Peach Corrector mixed with my NYX Pro Fix Stick in pink, so I get a bit of correcting and a bit of brightening. I use more of the Bobbi Brown Fix Stick, so I just put this on the inner and outer part of my eye, and then I just put a little bit of pink on the inner part of my eye. And then I'm just going in with my Alter Ego 101 brush. I love this brush. This is like one of my favorite brushes in my entire collection. I will say I've also really been enjoying, not for like blending out my color corrector, but for my concealer, I've really been in love with the Makeup by Mario dual-ended brush. I bought that earlier this summer, and then like I keep saying, like first trimester, I really was not, I feel like I wasn't alive, so I was not doing my makeup that much, so I just like never really got around to using that brush that much. But I've been busting it out lately because like in preparation for like all the year-end videos and stuff like that. Been loving that brush. Okay, I know I just took that color corrector like all down my cheeks too. It's fine. All right, for foundation today, I want, again, my makeup to last all day. So I'm gonna go in with my Dior Forever Hydra Nude foundation. I'm trying to decide if I wanna mix it. I think I might mix in one pump of the Glossier Future Nude just because I want to have like glowy skin. but I'm a little bit nervous about that. I also think this is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be too dark for me right now. I'll just really bring it down my neck. Teehee. Okay, so I did about 2.5 pumps of the Dior, and then I did 1 pump of the Glossier Future Dew, and I'm just gonna mix that up on the back of my hand. Yeah, wow. The Dior is only in shade 2N, but I feel like this is way too dark for me right now. We're gonna bring that way down the neck. And then speaking of that Makeup by Mario brush, I'm gonna use the larger side to blend out foundation, which I've also been loving this as a foundation blending brush. I said this in another video, I just can't remember which one. I was saying how a lot of the other brushes that I use for foundation just get like so gunky and gross. And this one like just doesn't. I haven't washed it. Like I need to wash it. But like compared to, which I actually feel like I've kind of recently washed this one from Smashbox. This is such an old brush, but I just feel like this one gets so much gunkier. And it could be just like obviously that brush is like more dense, but I don't know. This blends foundation up beautifully and just doesn't get nearly as gunky, which I really appreciate. All right, blending down the neck. Trying to take a little bit less foundation, so just a little bit of like what's left on my beauty sponge for my forehead, just so we don't get as much sinking into the forehead lines. Okay, and for some reason, like right here, I feel like it's not, like, it's still looking like really red through my foundation, but perhaps we can cover that with concealer. Okay, for concealer, I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. This one is a great one, especially if I am wanting more coverage and for my concealer to last all day. Okay, then just taking the smaller side of the Makeup by Mario. I just feel like that blends everything out so evenly and so smoothly. I'm so into this brush. I'm like considering buying a second one of these just because I like love this that much. Rare is the day that I like buy a backup brush. I was also considering buying a backup of that Ultra Eco brush. I just don't know what the Ultra Eco one, if you have to buy it in a set or if you can buy it individually. Because I definitely don't need like a whole set, but if I could just buy it individually, I definitely would buy a backup of that. I think it was the 101. All right, for loose powder today, I have my Makeup by Mario pulled into my Shop My Stash, but I'm actually gonna go in with my Nakia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder, just because I feel like this one has a little bit more like strong hold, I guess. I just feel like this one sets a little bit more. It might be like slightly heavier underneath the eyes, but I don't want to like use the word heavier because I don't find that this looks heavy. I just feel like it provides maybe a little bit more coverage and just like really locks the makeup in. And again, we're gonna be out in the cold. I'm sure my nose is gonna be running, which is not gonna be great, but I really just want to use products that I feel like are really gonna lock everything in, so we have the best chance of it staying for as long as possible. Okay, I really do forget how much I love that Velvet Finishing Powder too. This is a great product. I'm like, should I set my whole face with that? No. That would be too much. Maybe all of my nose though. And maybe my smile lines too, just because these bad boys get real wrinkly real quick. Maybe my chin while we're at it. I keep looking outside. The snow is supposed to start at like 6 a.m. and now it's moved on to like 11 a.m. And it's always interesting, like as someone who lives in like where there's snow a lot, colder weather climate, it's just so funny because like people will like freak out for snowstorms, and then like sometimes it's like we really don't even end up getting any snow, but also for like the first big snowstorm of the season, people get like, I mean, they get nervous, and it's like the talk of the town. So it'll be really interesting to see. Like I said, we're supposed to get like 10 inches. It'll be really interesting to see if we like actually get 10 inches. Honestly, I'd prefer not, because I hate driving in the snow. It just makes me so nervous, but you know what? It is what it is, and it's the price we pay for living here. Okay, I'm really hoping I actually do plan to film all the pans in my collection today. I was really hoping that maybe I would hit a pan in this before the day's end. I also was like going through all of my list of like products that have come into my collection this year. I didn't realize that the What's a Beauty Wind Dancer setting powders came out earlier this year, but for some reason I thought they came out last year. I have been loving this powder, which is really funny because I was thinking about decluttering it, and then I pulled it back out to like get consistent use on it and see if I really did, like if I was really ready to let go. I really, really love that powder. All right, we are, oh no. I really wanted to go in with my Rose Ink highlight, which is a cream highlight, and my Shay blush. Oh, the snow has started. The snow has started. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Am I lame for saying that? I'm gonna see if I can lay down highlight on top of this powder. Can I do, oh, I think maybe the highlight's working on top of the powder. I do, first of all, I don't think I'm gonna quite finish this before the end of the year, which is annoying. But I also think this is such a pretty powder and just like perfect for today, because it kind of gives that like snowy ethereal vibe. If I didn't say it's the Rose Ink Opalescent cream highlight. I was actually gonna see if I could pick up another one, but I am trying to hold off. Because I do have my Ritual Diffie one, which I believe is a little bit more intense than this one, but like if I bought this again, I would only reach for this over the Ritual Diffie one. I also, oh, I forgot I have my Dior one. Which, should I put a little bit of the Dior liquid highlight over top of this just for like a little bit more intensity? I feel like that'd really be going crazy, but like maybe. I might do that just because, again, I want to be like, I want the snow to be reflecting off of my cheeks today. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm scared. I'm taking my Shay Dewy Blush in the shade Baby. I am trying to finish this before the end of the year, and I am getting so close. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my cheeks, tap it out on my cheeks, and then I'm gonna put maybe like a tap or two of the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer on top of that, and then blend them together and see what happens. Again, I'm layering this over top of powder, so I may regret all choices that I'm about to make, but I do plan to go over top with powder products. That was like, I don't know what I was just thinking when I tapped that out. That was like the laziest, messiest blending and tapping. Okay, we're gonna see what happens here. I don't, like, can you see how ridiculous I just like tapped that blush out? Why did I do that? Okay, then I'm just gonna take, I do love this brush from e.l.f. It is the Airbrush blender. I feel like it just blends cream products out so beautifully. It's such an old brush though. I don't even know if they make this anymore. Okay, I think I might tap this over my nose. I really want to go for like, well, my cheeks are gonna be like cold and frosty, so like, but I do kind of want to go for that, I almost said crusty, as if I was gonna say crusty, frosty cheek vibe. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna layer more powder over top, but I don't know that that is going on top of the powder as beautifully as I would have liked. I wish that I remembered to put these products down before I went in with powder. Just going over a little bit with a beauty sponge too. I do think that's a nice frosty shade of pink though. All right, same thing on the other cheek. I guess we're just gonna go as messy on this cheek too, because why not? A couple of dots of the Dior and away we go. I do feel like the blush combo does match the eye look. Like, it does match the eye look. Like, we got the same vibe going on. Okay, before I go in, I am gonna go in with a little bit more powder, but I'm gonna spray a little MAC Fix Plus first. Don't worry, I'm not nervous yet, you guys. And actually, I'm like, do I even want to go in with more of the What's Up Beauty powder, or do I just want to use a finishing powder at the end? I actually feel like maybe I need to go in with a little bit more of the Nakia Joy Velvet powder, just a little bit, maybe. Like right here. Like I said, I might regret all choices. Now I feel like we might be looking a little heavy under this eye specifically. Okay. Taking in some MAC Fix Plus and specifically focusing on my under eyes, which do look a little heavy at the moment. A powder over top of the blush and highlight. Ugh. Okay, I wish I did not do that. I wish I had remembered to do the creams before we went in with powder in general. These are the choices I've committed to at this moment in time though, so we're just gonna have to stick to them. For bronzer, I've been reaching for my Fenty Beauty almost every day just because I am working on that in a project. So I'm gonna switch it up today and I'm gonna go in with my What's Up Beauty Cheek Cherry. And I have the shade 10 Light. This is such a beautiful blush, or not blush, bronzer. Another product, I was like, do I really want to keep this? It was definitely getting neglected in my collection. I pulled it out and really fell in love with this bronzer. You know what bronzer I have been thinking about picking up again? And I feel like, did I empty this one this year? But I have been thinking about the Nabla bronzer again in Amber. I wouldn't pick it up until like spring, summertime, just because I don't need it in general, but it's a really beautiful, it has a bit of a sheen to it. I just feel like I probably wouldn't need it until spring, summertime. Then I can focus on some of my other light bronzers, and I have had that bronzer for so long and focused on it for so long to finish that up, but I've been kind of missing that. And I will say Nabla is definitely on my radar. I used to love Nabla. I will say their eyeshadow just not my favorite. Like, eventually I fell out of love with their eyeshadow, but there's definitely some like lip products from them that I'm interested in, and just like some of the products that they've released lately. I don't know why I felt like my bronzer looked weird up there. Oh, I just feel like my powders look heavy, but it's fine. Some of their releases lately, I'm just like, I'm kind of interested. I don't know if I do, like, I'm thinking next year, maybe, I don't know. Please don't commit me to anything, but I'm like, do I want to do like every other month, maybe like a brand specific video? And like maybe Nabla could be one of the first ones. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing that. Again, don't commit me to anything. Okay, I'm gonna spray a little bit of the, I know we've gone in with a lot of spray. I'm gonna spray a little bit of the One Size Powder Melt. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. Just because I love this for melting powders. I also feel like it offers a really beautiful glow to the skin. I'm going to do my brows off camera, and then I'll be back and we can finish with powder, highlight, and blush, and then we'll finish the eyes. And fingers crossed, hope that it all comes together. Okay, you guys, brows are on. I actually do really like the way that like my cheeks are glowing right now. I want to be like really careful not to like ruin the like it feels like we're getting like a juicy glow. I don't want it to turn into just like a powdery glow. But I always do my highlight and then my blush, so we're gonna do highlight next. And for highlight, I'm going in with my Dior. This is so old. This is the Nude Air. I was thinking about going in with Dior Pink Halo, which is their newer highlight from this year, which is also so beautiful. But that has a little bit more warmth to it, whereas this is like just pretty icy. And I am obviously going for more icy today. So just picking that up on my brush. Wow, the mirror on that is way too dirty. I literally can't even see in it. Okay, I actually really like the way that I forget how much I love that Dior liquid highlight. So pretty, and I feel like the way that mixed with the Say Dewy blush is also so pretty. I definitely was thinking about picking up the Say like trio, like the 3-pack that they launched again for the holiday, but I talked myself out of it because I just didn't need it and still don't, but really want it. I was gonna see too if it like went on sale at all for Black Friday. Like a lot of times I feel like some of the holiday sets will, but I don't believe that it did. At least if it did, I didn't see it. But I am gonna miss having Baby as a shade, and I really do love the Say blush formula. I also saw that CL, I was like, I wanted to say Creole, CL has a blush trio, and I'm definitely interested in their liquid blushes as well, but I think maybe you can only get the blush trio on their website, and I just sometimes I just like don't feel like making an order from a site because then I feel like I have to meet a shipping threshold, and I'm just sometimes I'm like, I don't know about that. But I think you can, I'm almost positive you can buy like the actual just single liquid blushes on Sephora. Maybe you can get the 3-pack on Sephora as well, but let me know if you guys have tried the CL liquid blushes. I feel like I've heard good things about them. They looked really beautiful and glowy. Yeah, see, I'm like, okay, now I feel like I'm taking away some of the like glowiness. Also, I'm like, we're looking very Neapolitan ice cream, but we'll go over top with the Say finishing powder. By the way, the blush that I'm using is the shade Butterflies from Kosas. All right, and if ever I feel like my blush is just a little bit too much, what I've been loving doing lately is using the Say Slip Tint as a finishing powder. And I just take this on my What's Up Beauty R204 and just kind of swirl my brush around and then literally just like tap over my blush. And I just feel like it helps to like tone it down and kind of mesh everything together. We still might be looking a little Neapolitan over here. I am not like a true like blending queen. Also, I think I just love bronzer too much that I over apply bronzer every time. So my blush on top is always gonna look a little Neapolitan ice cream-esque. And honestly, I'm okay with that. A little bit more spray because your girl cannot help but get her spray in. We're gonna finish the eyes. I'll zoom you in, but don't look at my under eyes too closely, okay? Don't look too closely. Maybe they don't look horrible. I do kind of regret putting on the powder blush because it was really pretty without the powder. I need the powder blush because tree hunting is hours from now and I need my makeup to last, but for like day to day, I was really liking that cream, just the cream and liquid look. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my Ilia eyeliner in the shade Dusk. Shocker, I know. Oh my gosh, this eyeliner, will it be an empty in 2026? Will it be? I don't know. Just a really beautiful dark brown eyeliner though that I've been trying to pan for years. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with the matte shade out of the Vizier palette. And I'm gonna focus that just on the outer like third of the lower lash line here. Just like that. Then I think I'm gonna take the shade Acrimonium again, the light pink. And I wanna bring this one all the way across. So I'm gonna start this on the inner corner, or like the inner part of the lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of Luster here. And I want to tap that around, or along. I should think just like the inner third. I honestly feel like Luster would have been beautiful on its own, or Estranged beautiful on its own. I don't feel like I got a lot of difference mixing those two together. Part of me honestly wishes I just used Luster on its own. It's very, very sparkly, and I feel like it has a bit of that blue sparkle to it as well. Would have been so pretty for like Snow Fairy-esque. Not saying it's not pretty in the look that I created today, but I feel like it would have been just fine on its own without the shade Estranged like on the bottom. Okay, and then I do want to go into the Efflorescence palette. And I want to take, I'm pretty sure Bloom is my pink here. And it is like a bit of a like pink golden, so it's definitely warmer. Florette I feel like is gonna be, okay, Florette has like a bit more purple to it, but I honestly feel like it would go with the look just fine. So I'm gonna take Florette. And I'm gonna tap that into the inner corner. Okay, Florette is really pretty. I don't know, again, with like lights, how well you'll be able to see Florette. But I feel like it is a really beautiful purple, but like with the perfect amount of just like a slight, like, is it possible, like, does it have like pink in that as well? Okay, then I'm gonna pop mascara on. I do think I'm gonna try and curl my lashes today. We'll see how this goes. I think I might go in with 3 mascaras today. I'm gonna take the Cali Ray on the lower lash line. This is a tubing mascara. I feel like this is the only one I'm gonna go with on the lower lash. I feel like this is a safe option because I don't get like smudging or flaking with this. And because it's a tubing mascara, even if my eyes water a little bit with like the cold snowiness, hopefully we're still gonna be okay. All right, and then for the upper lash line, I'm gonna start out with my Ilia Limitless, which I also love. This is like my favorite mascara of all time. If I could only use one mascara for the rest of my life, it would definitely be Ilia Limitless. And I have felt that way about this mascara for several years. Like, I feel like 2021 maybe was maybe when this first launched, or like I tried it for the first time. Truly love this mascara. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Rare Beauty just to add a little bit more volume. Okay, I'm glad that I curled my lashes. I actually feel like for once my lashes aren't just like sticking straight out. All right, then for lips, my camera battery's about to die. I'm gonna go in with my Bella Beauty Bar lip liner. I forget which one this is. I'll leave it linked down below. I forget what this is. If my camera battery dies, I apologize. It's blinking at me. Oh, I was just thinking, because I'm not accidentally, but kind of accidentally going in with a darker lip. Also, what would have been fun, and actually we can probably still do it. I'm like, okay, my camera battery did indeed die. I wasn't originally thinking of this, but I feel like the Half Magic Glitter Drip gloss in Y2K Cherub would be so pretty. Also, I was in Ulta the other day, and there's another drip gloss. Like, there was a set for the holidays. One of the shades I feel like was this one, and then there was another really pretty shade in there. And I was like, oh, kind of want to buy this shade. Definitely don't need to. But first I'm going to go over top with the Sparkle Bomb from Bella Beauty Bar. I love these Sparkle Bombs. Literally can't get enough. This is the shade Dreamscape. And then originally I was going to go in with my Kaja Gloss Shop, which I think I will ultimately end up bringing with me as my gloss. It's a little bit less bold. We'll see. But I'm going to go in with Half Magic, sorry, Y2K Cherub, because this should have some sparkle to it. And now I'm like, I wish I didn't go in with quite a dark lip, but that's okay. Honestly, like a more pale pink lip, or like a pinkier lip though, with this over top would be so much prettier. I wonder if I can wipe this off. I always get nervous to wipe off. I'm just fearful if I wipe it off, I'm going to like seriously regret my choices. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. I don't have to go tree hunting for several hours. So the lip product will inevitably wear off and then I can change out the lip combo. Anyway, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's look. This is, let me see if I can scooch this any closer. Turn down the lights. Can we get all the sparkle going in here? It is really, really sparkly, which I do really appreciate. I have only used this palette twice now. Again, I'm kind of like coveting it and favoring it and not wanting to like dig my hands into it, but I have loved every shade that I've used in this palette so far. Luster, I feel like with like, oh my gosh, like a neutral matte brown look too, or like a dustier pink will be so pretty. There's, oh, it's just, this palette is so sparkly and I love a sparkly look. Honestly, I feel like this year I've been loving something a little bit sparkly over something super shifty. So I feel like this palette really speaks to me in that regard. I feel like I'm gonna have so much fun creating like some more blue snowy looks with the bottom of this palette too. And I love that we have like pops of color, but also ways to take this palette in a more neutral way as well. I know I only used one shade out of the Rotten palette, but I will likely end up still posting my Get Ready With Me using the Rotten palette. And so far I've had really, really, really good luck with this palette as well. I think it's beautiful. Blend Bunny mattes are some of my favorite to work with. I just find them to be so incredibly easy to use. And the one shade that we used today was no exception. And then the Efflorescence palette, I really like that Florette shade. I'm like, a part of me really wants to tap it all over the lids, but I feel like I'll regret that. I feel like I'll regret it. Will I though? I feel like I should just leave it as is because I'm like happy with the look. So I'm gonna leave it as is, but this is the look using another palette in my collection that I'm still testing. I don't think we used a lot of new stuff on the rest of the face. But thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day to hang out and get ready with me. I would love to know in the comments below what makeup you are reaching for in the month of December. What is inspiring you? Do you have a palette that you're really excited to reach for this month? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.